Well, Broncos country, if somebody asked you what is one move the Broncos could make in free agency that you can ask for, you only get one wish, guaranteed signing, who would it be? I know the answer to mine, and it is Chris Godwin. We're going to break down exactly why that is the case, why he is the perfect fit for Bo Nix, and is just the right guy overall to be able to help take this team to the next level and compete for an AFC West title and make a nice, long, deep playoff run. Guys, if you love Broncos news, if you love NFL draft content, like the video. I guess for the algorithm, they say it helps. So the little thumbs up, click on that, and subscribe to the channel if you love some good just some stuff we put together, some good content, right? And as you can tell, I don't edit any of my videos. I don't script any of this stuff. I just pull some things up I want to talk about, and we go. So let's roll. All right, guys. Well, we all know we don't have to get so deep into this, but Chris Godwin is an absolute certified stud and probably one of the more underrated receivers in the NFL because he plays next to another, certified stud, Hall of Famer in Mike Evans there in Tampa. But what makes that offense so good is that the versatility in which what Chris Godwin brings to the team is just flat out ridiculous. His ability to play in the slot, his ability to play outside, win all over. So he's a really solid size, 6'1", 208. He's only 28 years old. And if you look at some of the PFF rankings for what it's worth, very, very high overall grade last year before the injury, 10th of all the receivers. He was 68th in targets, 50th in receptions on the year because he was hurt, but no drops, and drops of he's always had really sure, reliable hands. 127.5 passer rating when he's targeted. And even his average after the catch per reception is 6.9. That's 10th. And yes, he ended up getting hurt like in week 7, but this dude was on pace this last year. Oops, sorry. Let me see what he ended up. He finished with 550 catches, 576 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And he was on pace for like 114 catches, over 1,200 yards, and 14 touchdowns, I think it was, or 12 touchdowns, something crazy like that for last year. And, really breaking somebody like him down. We're going to go ahead and do this over here. Click on the offense. We're going to look at the consistency from a PFF ranking. And not just that, every single year since his rookie season in 2017, he's been incredibly consistent all across the board, pass blocking, run blocking. He's done it all. And it's not just the PFF grades for what it's worth. You've got a guy that is just flat out certified killer. And 5 of the last 6 seasons, and this last season he got injured, but 5 in the last 6 seasons, he's at over 1,000 yards every single year. He's, not necessarily a touchdown machine, but he's had his really, really good seasons with touchdowns. But what this guy does for you is he gets you first downs. He gets open across the middle, and he opens everything up when it comes to his ability to play wide receiver. And as you can see, throughout his career, 54.9% of all of his snaps have been in the slot, 44.1 out wide. So he's done it both, but he actually rates a lot better and he's a lot more efficient when he is brought back in line. And that's exactly what it is that the Broncos need. I really truly believe that somebody like a Chris Godwin opens up this entire offense, probably more than an elite, than a highly drafted tight end in the NFL draft would, because, first of all, you know what you're going to get. But secondly, he's going to be able to open the middle of the field. He's going to be able to get, be a really good security blanket for somebody like Bo Nix, right? With, and in all aspects of the game, at all levels of the field, in all downs and distances. And it's going to allow for, some of the pressure to get off of Courtland. So it's going to open up some things for Courtland Sutton. But you're also not hampering the development of guys like Troy Franklin and Devon Vele and Marvin Mims. You can keep those guys in the same role, right? If Devon Vele goes into camp and he shows that he's made a huge step and he's ready to be, the other X receiver opposite of Courtland Sutton, throw Chris Godwin in the slot. If those guys still need a little bit of seasoning, you put Chris Godwin out wide. You could put Marvin Mims or Devon Vele or I want to put Franklin in the slot. You can move those guys around and have them have different roles. But his positional versatility is absolutely huge. He can help you in the run game. He can help you, blocking on wide receiver screens. He does a lot, and he's great in the red zone. And he's great when you really need him to be able to make catches. Yes, I get it. He's coming off of a pretty serious ankle injury. It was nasty. It was awful to see. I think it was a Thursday night game, and it was like a pointless play at the end of the game, and they were crushing the team. He ends up snapping his ankle. So if all the medicals check out, which I think that they will, because players can usually come back pretty good from those types of injuries. You might be able to get him at a little bit of a discount, but I think he's worth every single penny. And I like him more than somebody like a T. Higgins for a couple of reasons. Firstly, when you have T. Higgins, he doesn't really make sense in terms of what Sean Payton's done building his offenses, in the 15 years or whatever he's been a head coach. You look at his offenses back when he was with New Orleans, he always had, kind of that X number one wide receiver. He had another guy that was kind of a deep barnyard burner, and then he distributed a lot to the backs, or he gave his tight ends a lot of targets as well. He doesn't really distribute it off to the wide receivers as much. It's just kind of been a trend this whole time. But firstly, T. Higgins is going to be quite a bit more expensive. And him and Courtland Sutton, although they play a similar position, they can obviously both play on the outside. But it still leaves you a pretty big void in terms of the guys that can consistently get open on the inside. And I truly believe if it was one of those situations, you might be caught in a scenario where you have two guys that are just too similar and, vying to try to figure out who's going to be the true number one and the true number two. Don't get it twisted. T. Higgins would be really good. But the reason that I prefer Chris Godwin is because first of all, you're not going to pay as much. You're not going to have to commit as much long-term to somebody like him. But in addition, you can still continue to develop your young talent, which is always so important to be able to maintain a really good foundation of a team. You can continue to do so. And wherever those guys end up shining or not, you could just plug Chris Godwin wherever the hole is a lot easier. So his versatility, I would take over somebody like a T. Higgins, which sucks because I love me some T. Higgins too. But let's get into a little bit of the film. Let's talk a little bit about, some of the things that he does. Obviously, he's been in the league for many, many years, but he's just awesome, and he's just solid. And this is something that I love. And this is honestly a hell of a play call by Liam Cohen for the Bucs. But check this out. You are going to have Chris Godwin out here in the slot. All right below. So top of the screen, but like right below Mike Evans. I'm going to let it run, and then we're going to talk about it because this play was actually really, really cool. I mean, easy, but check this out. Once you actually look at the play call itself, what you're going to notice, I'm going to try to use my little pen marker here because, that's what cool people do. So they are going to fake the handoff to the back here. I think it's Bucky Irving. Then they're going to bring out Rashad White on a fake screen. He actually comes all the way over here. They fake the screen. And what you got to notice, Chris Godwin right here, he's actually going to completely fake the block as if the screen is coming. And it is going to make this corner jump up. And then it is a house call, Tutalicious. But very savvy vet play. Now, it's one of those things. Yes, these guys can be taught this, but I'll tell you what, man, being able to go out there and execute it and do it like it's nothing and not have to worry so much about, all the little quirks that, rookies and inexperienced players have. He just does it. But check this out. So here comes the fake. He fakes the block. The receiver actually goes up to, the cornerback actually goes up to engage. They fake it. He releases, and it is toast. Absolutely barnyard burner touchdown. And then here's another area. This is where we talk about middle of the field type of tough, just consistent catches. Yes, we had Courtland Sutton do it, but we cannot just rely on one guy. Defenses are going to keep keying in on it. And so he's someone that is just another awesome, player that is able to get open across the middle, but also make catches like this. It's really nice from the tight, as you can see. And it's a risky throw, but he just goes out and he gets it. I mean, look at that. Snagalicious right in the middle. I love it, man. I love it. And Broncos fans are going to remember this. This is when he actually beats Riley Moss in the corner of the end zone. This is kind of some of the red zone presence that he can give you. Oh, I think my thing's in the way. My bad. I hope you guys are able to see it. You should be able to see it from this angle too. But he puts a nice little move on Riley Moss. But Riley Moss is in really good coverage. but you can just see it's very savvy of him to kind of use his body, box him out, have the late hands, and come down with it. That is a very, very difficult catch. And then here's something that was missing so much from the Broncos offense last season, and that is the ability to improvise these receivers. There was a lot of times, we'd see it. Bo would back up, a couple seconds would go, nothing's open. He flees the pocket to buy himself more time, and you don't really see a lot of guys be able to improvise and have that kind of second play improvisational type of chemistry or just wherewithal. You did see it, like I said, sometimes with guys like Cortland Sutton because of his experience. But you need somebody in the middle of the field that can be able to do this and do it consistently. And this is really what Chris Godwin does a lot of too. So here, sorry, so that you guys can at least be able to see it. Little marker. You'll see Chris Godwin here. So just keep an eye on him during this. He's going to come out. He's going to roll. Now, he's acting like he wants the ball right there. He kind of runs a little bit of a curl. He sees that the quarterback is dipping out, and he just makes a nice little play across the middle for him. And I don't know why that cut off short. Anyways, there's another one of those two right over here that I saw that I really liked. And I actually like this one even more because he does it to even more of an extent. So he's lined up in the slot again. They're putting the other receiver in motion. So he comes out. Boom. He's open right there. But Baker Mayfield has to flood out. Gets wide open for the quarterback, gives him a body to read, makes a nice little catch, goes out, gets the first down. Consistent thing. I don't want to get this stat wrong, and I don't even remember exactly where I found it. So I will try to find it. Maybe I'll put it on my Twitter. But it was something along the lines of, he had the highest percentage of yards over the past 5 years on improvisation or on the second play. So he's got a really, really good knack for doing this. So this isn't just one-off situations. He's really, really good at that. And then, he has the ability to do some stuff like this too, right? You can put him in motion. You do this with Marvin. You do this with somebody like Chris Godwin. Boom, makes a dude miss. He's not really that fast. Actually, his top end speed is nothing that special, but he's very, very quick twitched and he's tough as nails. I love watching the dude play. Let's run that back. Just watch how he makes this corner. The cornerback completely just tackles air. And there was not a big margin for error because he catches it, boom, he's got to go. So there's a lot of that you can do too. He's a menace in the run game in terms of a blocker. He does a great job when they do, trips wide receivers on the right, and he's got a block. A lot of the times they're throwing it to him. He's got good vision in terms of being able to make plays there. Chris Godwin is just a man. And that's why they call him the Godwin. I'm a big fan of him. I think he's somebody that immediately transforms this offense. And because of the versatility that he has, I know I've said this a million times, but his ability to be a really, really, really borderline elite slot receiver will offset some of the deficiencies that we have at tight end. If we go out there and we address those things in free agency, and if we address those things in the draft, great. The more, the merrier. But he really lowers our dependency on needing to have great production out of the tight ends. And I think it'll be a lethal passing attack because now you've got receivers that can do everything, right? You've got your premier slot guy. You've got a really, really good outside guy in Cortland Sutton. You've got two guys really in Franklin and Mims that can stretch the field. You've got Marvin that can do all the gadget stuff. And then you've got Vele that's developing to kind of be in more of that Sutton role too, that can, be a good big body in the red zone, really sure-handed on specific routes, and he's only going to get better too. I'm a big fan. I really want to know what you guys think below about Chris Godwin. I hope you all enjoyed the video, learned something. Let me know below if there's any other free agents. I'm doing a lot of NFL draft film reviews you can check out. There's a lot more to come. But if there's any particular NFL free agents that you'd like for me to do some film reviews on, let me know. There's quite a bit that are intriguing for the Broncos, so we'll get at it. Otherwise, y'all be sure to have a great night. Spend time with those that you love the most. And until next time, go Broncos and peace out.